Hello, readers. Last week, you began to learn about and explore mood. You explored the mood of the setting in your novels. To do this, you used the strategy asking yourself, what kind of place is this? And if it's a normal or usual setting, like a school or a house, you can ask yourself, what kind of house is this? What kind of school is this? This strategy will help you think about the setting and consider the mood of the place. Today, we're going to take our thinking about the mood of the setting and the setting in general a little bit deeper. And we're going to start thinking about how does the setting affect the characters? How does it influence or pressure characters to do things, say things, think things, and feel things? Now, the chart that you see on the screen is the same chart that you used or that we used when we were collecting evidence of character traits, evidence for the character traits of our characters. We can use the things that characters say and do, think, and feel as evidence of their character traits. But did you know that the setting of a novel or a movie or even the setting of our real lives affects what people and characters say, do, think, and feel? Let me give you a real life example. I'm confident when I'm at school because I'm familiar with the school building and where I work. I'm familiar with all the AISC students. But if I were to have to go to a new school and teach, I'd probably be really nervous. The setting would be totally different. I wouldn't know the school and I wouldn't know the students. Do you think that would affect the things that I say, do, think, and feel? Definitely how I feel. Just like this teacher here, I would feel quite nervous. And what might I do differently? Well, I like to make jokes and be silly in class. But in a different setting, a new school, it might affect me and I might not be so silly or make jokes with new students in this new setting. Can you think about how the setting, our current setting right now with virtual learning and the coronavirus is affecting the things that you feel, think, say, and do? Let's talk a little bit about Will. We first met Will in Popularity, and he was in 4th grade, and these were Will's character traits in 4th grade. But he's changed a lot since 4th grade, and now in the story The Fight, Will is in 8th grade. And in 8th grade, Will, some of his more likable traits is he's reflective, right? He's thinking about how he's made a bad choice to fight, and he's realistic. He's also prideful and conceited or self-centered, and that's some of his less likable traits. Just so you know, if you don't understand these words, you can open the reading slides and click on these words, and they're linked to a dictionary. So use the reading slides to help you as you work. Okay, let's think about Will in 8th grade now. Why is Will so prideful? He wasn't very prideful in 4th grade. Why has he changed? Well, good readers know that they need to think about the setting and how it's affecting the character when we also consider their character traits. So let's think about this. How is the setting in The Fight affecting what Will says, does, thinks, and feels? How might the setting pressure or influence Will into saying certain things? How might the setting in The Fight pressure or influence Will into doing certain things? How might the setting in the story, The Fight, pressure or influence Will into thinking certain things? And how might the same setting pressure or influence Will into feeling certain things? These are the same questions that you should ask yourself as you read your novel and think about how is the setting in the novels that you are reading having an influence or affecting the characters in these novels. So I decided after rereading The Fight and looking for text evidence that the mood of Will's school is nasty, competitive, intimidating, and aggressive. But how is this setting and the mood of this setting affecting Will? So here I have my thinking about the setting. The school is a place where it is important to be tough. And then I have an arrow here, and it says the setting is affecting Will by. Well, it's important for me to think about and answer this question in my writing about my reading. Will wants to fit in and be cool. Reflecting on the mood of the setting, I know that the school is a tough and aggressive place. Will needs to be tough and aggressive to fit in and be popular. For example, Will's gym class or PE class was really aggressive. Here's my evidence from page 3. Then we started shoving each other under the basket and pointing fingers and making threatening faces. Well, this shows that the setting is quite aggressive. And it makes me think, if the gym class were not so aggressive, would Will be acting and saying things that are so aggressive? It sounds like the aggressive setting of the school and the gym class is affecting Will and the things that he says and does. So did you notice how here in the purple box, I thought about the setting, and then I thought about how the setting might be affecting Will? But what am I missing in my writing here? I have evidence here, but it's important for me to put the evidence into a complete paragraph or a complete thought. So let's take a look at how I did that. This is an example of the digital journal page today. It has here, because the setting is, and this is where I put the mood or one idea for the mood of the setting. And then it has a comma, and then I should continue the thought with my writing. Because the setting is competitive, Will is pressured or influenced into being competitive as well. For example, Will is pushing and throwing elbows at Mike during gym or PE class. Thus, Mike is competitive, so Will is pressured to be competitive too. Maybe if Will were in a different PE class where the setting was more calm and the other people were good sports, then he might also be acting more calm and be a better sport too. What did you notice about my thinking and about how the setting has affected Will? It's important for you to read through all of these examples. Reading the examples will help you better understand the work that you need to do for your novel today. Did you notice that in green, I have my evident sentence starters? And in blue, I have my analysis or my thinking sentence starters. I have one that we haven't included in the list of analysis is the if-then statement. I really like to use the if-then statement to explain my thinking. There's something else really important I want you to notice about my writing about my reading. I, like many of you, used the digital journal page to do my writing about my reading. But did you notice In the digital journal page, the space to include evidence is very small. And from the video lesson, you know that you need to include text evidence plus analysis. So you're gonna need a bigger space. It's really important that when you use the digital journal pages, you don't just do whatever's on the page. You need to think about the reading lesson and then make the digital journal page fit your writing needs. So for example, this space was way too small, but instead of just doing low quality work, I made sure that I included a large text box and I made the background white. It's very simple to do, but it's important that you think about what the reading lesson has asked you to write about. Then adjust or change the digital journal page so that it fits your needs. Even if you need to write in a text box this big, that's okay. It doesn't matter that you've covered the digital journal page. Or maybe you want to add a new page. That's okay too. The most important thing is that you're thinking about what the strategy is for reading. Today, the strategy for reading is to think about how the setting is affecting the characters. So when you're writing about your reading, you'll need to describe the setting with an adjective, like I have. Describe the mood of the setting with an adjective, like I have. Explain how the setting is affecting the characters by using text evidence and explaining how the evidence proves your thinking and explaining how the evidence proves the mood or your thoughts about the setting through your analysis. If your writing about your reading has all of these elements, then it's okay if yours looks different than mine. It's still accomplishing the same goal. All right, grade 5. In the end, please use these reading slides to help you in your work today. The very last slide is our evidence and analysis sentence stems to help you with your writing. Happy reading, happy writing.